The devs have finally come out and spoke about why they stopped responding to fans and why they stopped talking to the community as much as they used to back in the day. And unfortunately, the fans are not going to like this. The players are not going to have a good time reading this. Although it slightly does make sense, it's just simply not what we want to hear. Also in the news today, talking about an infinite air glitch. I'm not sure if this is actually infinite, but it looks like it is. This is the craziest glitch I've seen, and I'm not really sure if they're even aware of this glitch. So I definitely need to make it more widespread because this is a little bit weird. And many other things in today's news. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below for a chance to win 10,000 Apex coins or $100 cash, whatever you want to do. We're going to do the same process as we did with the heirloom. We did pick a winner, and it was a guy who's very part of the community. His name is Ronnie. We had about like 61 finalists, and we eliminated 60 of them on stream, and then actually crowned our winner after we eliminated 60. There was only one left. It was an absolute blast. We had a ton of people show up to the stream. It was a lot of fun indeed. We'll do it again with this 10,000 Apex coin giveaway or $100 cash. So if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So I wanted to start it off here. We're talking about the crafter. You know, this actually had a recent update with this last collection event, and for once it actually seems like people are finally happy. Now I know a lot of people were not happy at first when the wingman went in. People were like, yo, why is the wingman in the car going in, because these are like two of the funnest guns to use. But it actually does make sense. You know, the wingman is slightly, you know, ridiculously insane in the hands of a good player. Well, rightfully so. I mean, it's the type of gun that should be that good. However, the car SMG definitely makes sense. It's better than the R9 in pretty much every single way possible, and it has that extra advantage of, you know, the ammo slots, being able to pick up two different type of heavy mags. So honestly, that makes sense for a gun. I'm not sure if they'll ever leave a gun permanently in the crafter, but if there ever was a gun that had a case for it, that would be the one gun I would say definitely had a case for it. Apex Legends YouTuber and Twitch streamer made a great point though on Twitter, saying please keep the wingman in the crafter permanently. The game is so much more peaceful and balanced without that gun on the ground. I understand other guns possibly need nerfs or buffs, but at least they are actually being used now. A lot of people in the comments actually said, yo, nothing but facts here. You know, this is a great point, and personally I think these are probably the two best weapons that have been in the crafter probably since the crafter came out, if I'm being quite honest with you. Now, other news today, this is actually pretty good to finally get a response from Respawn as far as what's going on. We've been talking about covering for months, you know, what happened to the good old days? What happened to the days back when the devs actually responded to us, when they used to speak to us? They used to write these massive threads. You know, Ryan Rigney did it all the time, saying, hey, here's why we did what we did. You know, DZK, as much as he wasn't liked, at least he was actually also doing these things, you know, making long threads about here's why I nerfed this legend, here's why I buffed this legend, here's the reason we're taking this game in the direction that we are. Ryan Rigney did the exact same thing. Like I said, when he came out with arenas, he was talking about why they're expounding upon other game modes rather than just battle royale, and trying to be much bigger than just a battle royale. And we even had the protest of save Apex ranked. You know, ranked was absolutely atrocious, and people were like, yo, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be changed, it's absolutely unplayable, the cheaters are just absolutely wild and you can't stop them, so we got to save Apex ranked. And they responded to that. They made big long threads regarding the community's outrage back in the day, when they've definitely not done that in quite some time. All these people that used to work at Apex are mostly not there anymore. You know, DZK was fired, I'm pretty sure, or if not, he was forced to resign, something along those lines, after all the drama that happened with him. Ryan Rigney was short to follow, although I'm quite sure he left voluntarily. And at least 5 of the 6 of the OGs that started the game are also gone. I know Chad Grenier, Drew McCoy, many others, like I said, all of these being people that used to speak to the community day in and day out. We have not had that treatment in quite some time. Even the people that took their spots are not speaking to the community like they used to. Well, we now have a reason as to why, and we kind of figured this was the case. Unfortunately, it's not what we'd like to hear, and definitely not very good and promising for the signs of the future when it comes to communication from the developers and its players, unless it's coming from the direct Twitter account of the Respawn devs. And this is what this said. This was actually on Reddit, and someone made a subreddit, said, what's the point of this sub now? Respawn have their fingers in their ears and do not want to hear us. Pages and pages of reports and vids of no regs, server glitches, laggy controls, game breaking bugs, many months old, if not worse. And these were some of the responses that we had. They said, where are they? Why is there zero visibility of any response to the game base? The subreddit used to be a great place to get tips, fun content, feedback. Now it's just a record of everything wrong with the game. History tells us none of it will be fixed. Why are Respawn happier with the situation than one where the game works properly and people are posting how awesome it is and thanks for making it? Now he goes on to say some other things, but we did get a response from our Apex Legends developer, or at least former Apex dev, and they said, hey, as a former Apex dev, I'm now on Star Wars though, I would read and post in here as much as possible, but I'd only do that if I had a clear afternoon and nothing was too spicy. I didn't always calculate that correctly. Feel free to view post history if you're curious there. Basically talking about, you know, come read my, you know, post history if you want to see what I'm talking about. Some days it's not very good for me to come out here and talk on Reddit because things get blown up out of proportion. I get attacked by many people who think that they know it better than I do. So this is what he's saying. That said, I really like to talk to players and discussing the why behind decisions. And just as it's hard to put yourself out there and try to have a good faith conversation, it's really easy to derail that kind of thing too. The too long didn't read here is replying to stuff on Reddit is tricky. We have a dev team of hundreds. This is millions of players in the subreddit. Just ask any dev about their DMs and take it in total. You can start to see why not writing an essay response like I am is really the winning move most of the time. So unfortunately, they have found in their own personal experience that it's better to not respond at all than it is to come on Reddit and talk to the community in essay-like responses and give really big details, because what normally happens is players freak out. They start to roast people. They make YouTube videos like we obviously are doing right now. People begin to formulate their own opinions, maybe even attack those devs or attack Respawn, and the backlash gets even worse by the simple fact of them responding. Now, it may be difficult to gauge exactly how negative the influence of them responding is versus how positive it is whenever they respond, because if I'm being honest, I think that the overall negative impact is worse when they don't respond than when they do respond, because if they do respond and people don't like it, they may say, hey, screw this, we don't like this, and they know that the devs are going to hear and possibly make a change. However, you know, I think it's that much better when they do make a change and the community is like, yo, we love it. That has happened, by the way, where they're like, yo, we love this. This is a perfect season. This is such an amazing season. Everything is great. Thank you so much, Respawn, for doing this. Or they acknowledge a thing that they're going to change or fix, and they're like, yo, thank you so much for doing that. Respawn, you're amazing. I think when they get positive feedback like that and a positive, you know, outcome, it's much better than the non-existent outcome or non-existent feedback of them not responding at all. That's just my personal opinion. I don't really know if there's any way to gauge that and determine, you know, which one is better than the other, but unfortunately, it seems like they have already come to that conclusion as to why they stopped responding to us in big fashion. Now, speaking of exactly what this post is about, there's a new bug I've never seen before, and someone actually sent this to me over on Twitter. So thank you so much, Diamond, for doing that. This was a detailed video that he sent me, not just a crazy, you know, little clip that he saw. He actually went and did some testing himself, and this is like an infinite air glitch. I'm not really sure exactly why this works the way it does, but effectively what happens is if you go into an Octane jump pad, normally you take an Octane jump pad normally, but if you alt tab in the middle of it, he's got recordings of this happening where he gets stuck in midair until he alt tabs back in. Now, sometimes it's like a slow-mo, but when you jump straight up with, like, if you melee the jump pad and it shoots you straight up, when he does it, then it's like he's literally not moving. He's sitting in the air infinitely. And at first I thought maybe this guy's trolling. He's just, you know, putting this in slow-mo, until I looked at the timer and I can see that the timer is actually moving appropriately. So this is actually a bug that is happening, and I'm wondering, you know, can you actually just melee this jump pad and alt tab outside of the game and just sit here and, you know, hold a high ground and just sit here until you see some. If you have a second monitor pulled up, or say even OBS, and you're watching it, you can be alt tabbed, experience this glitch, and still see your screen. So man, if it hasn't been one bug after the other, I'm telling you, it's a weird season of bugs, but unfortunately we're not getting much response as to when exactly these things will be fixed. Our only hope right now is Moy and Pav, and Pav has been mainly the one doing the bug fix responses. So, you know, he's pretty much our only hope at this point as far as some communication between Respawn and its community. Let me know what you all think down in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and also you'll be entered in for that chance of 10,000 Apex coins or $100 cash. Like I said, the way we did the heirloom was so much fun. I had such a blast on stream. Hundreds of people that showed up, and that elimination process was intense, and people were staying even though they weren't even in because of how intense it actually was. So have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I'll see you all later, Gators.